We're continuing Katniss's journey. It's not really about getting out of the games anymore. We're moving into a real war between District 13 and the Capitol. So, things are kind of naturally getting darker, story-wise, visually, because we're underground a lot in District 13. But that we're just following her journey. Katniss has been completely stripped down when we find her at the beginning of this movie. She's had suffered from post-traumatic stress from the first games. She had to go back. She wakes up in a district that she didn't even know existed. She's lost her home. She's completely bare and has to rebuild herself. So, fortunately, when we almost shot in sequence. When one of the first scenes that I shot was when we first find Katniss, and she's locked herself in an air vent, and so I think that it's naturally she's in a darker place because she's completely stripped away from everything that she knows and has to rebuild. The fans and our audience are constantly in our conversation because that's how all of this, the excitement around these books, and it's who we're making these movies for. So before we make any huge decisions, there's a conversation with Suzanne Collins. There's definitely an awareness of our fan base because it is so giant and so important to us. Drawing on your own personal experience is tricky for me. I never really understand how that works because it's not me. It's a very different person that handles emotions in a very different way. I mean, I would have just been crying every single day and been like, "Where's my mom?" But I remember reading the first books, and when I read them, I was going through my first award season for Winter's Bone, and I had never experienced anything like that, of just kind of being put in dresses that are uncomfortable and that I didn't looking not like myself, and all of a sudden everybody's listening to you, and you're like, don't listen to me, I'm 20, and then kind of growing into it in a way, and I felt like there were a few parallels of that, of having people kind of look at you and listen to you at a very young age when you don't really feel ready.
It was really nice to hear Katniss kind of singing in the film, and I was just wondering, what do you think, if she was here now, what kind of stuff she'd listen to?
What's on her iPod, basically, I guess is what she asked. What kind of music
Lord.
Katniss would be listening to.
Definitely Lord.
Hey, good answer.
No, but honestly, when the first time I ever heard that Lord song, I mean, I think it's Yellow Flicker Beat, or something like it's. Yeah. I mean, it just gave me goosebumps because you read a book, you kind of internalize a character, you go on set and you kind of you have conversations with the director, with your co-stars, you have conversations of how to build something I've never really heard. It was so bizarre, really, to kind of hear a musical version of what emotionally I feel in between action and cut sometimes. I know that sounds like a really weird thing to say, but she captured that character so magically that it was a really amazing thing to listen to. So I think Katniss would be a huge Lord fan, and obviously Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Who's awesome. Yeah. It's definitely more comfortable, and Catching Fire, I mean, the costumes can be, the Capitol is so fascinating. And when you can really watch talented people like Trish Somerville, or in this movie, Kurt and Bart, watch their imaginations just explode. It's really amazing. And even being able to wear some of those dresses and being a part of that kind of creativity is really exciting. But for 10 months, I would not have liked to be in a dress. It was nice being in the Bob the Builder.
Yeah.
Both of our characters do actually have a lot in common. We're both very strong very strong and very powerful. So there's something that we respect in each other, but also something that we both fear in one another.
And I think that, you know, we were talking about this in the other room too. Suzanne Collins has written such wonderful, fully developed female characters, and that is unusual. And then Natalie had pointed out that these are characters that, you know, Natalie's character, my character, certainly Katniss, it could have all been male, but Suzanne chose to make them female. So, you know, I feel, reading the books and looking at the movies, that the movies more generally represent the life that I see than the one that's generally depicted in film. So I'm very grateful to that.
It's a huge honor. You know, before I said yes to these movies, I knew we had a feeling, because the books were so popular and so huge. We had a feeling that these were going to be big and that this character was going to be with me for the rest of my life. We could have never guessed that it would. I mean, this surpassed every single expectation we could have ever had, and that made me nervous for a few days, because I'm an actor. I don't want to be remembered just as one character. That's a scary idea, but I'm so proud of these movies. I love their message. I love this character. I love everything about her. That I'm actually honored to carry this character with me for the rest of my life, and to have people remember me as this incredible, courageous hero. And some, you know, I hope people mistake it for me. But yeah, I mean, it's a huge honor to be a part of.